Hey guys, I know it's been a minute, but I had to do something. But now that that's out of the way, I'm here to talk to you about a classic comedy film called Pigeon Package. Also, I know you guys are thinking, wow Chief, you're actually animating these types of videos. And yes, I am. Consider it a thank you for the boost I've gotten since the haircuts video. But anyway, back to the film. In the last few weeks, niggas have been writing this movie like it's the rodeo and just doing all kinds of nonsense in celebration of it. And this is like my most requested video for the past few weeks, so I hope I'm not too late. Anyway, it starts with a woman telling two kids named male and female that they have to be blindfolded or else they'll end up on a shirt. So it flashes back 5 years and the woman is a pregnant bum who lives with her sister. They look at the TV and a bunch of weirdos in foreign countries are putting themselves on the news. The sister is one of those outgoing types, so she wants them to go out and actually experience life, but the woman is like nah, and has also heard about the fact that the man who gave her the baby in the first place did the dash on her. So they go to some hospital to check on the fetus, and the woman is talking crazy, so the doctor has to check her and so to either get rid of the baby or actually do her job as a mother. And as they're walking out, some woman realizes the obvious and starts busting her head on the window so she can become a pack. Then everyone starts acting a fool, so the woman and the sister start driving away, but then the sister comes to her senses too and realizes that life is pointless. So it turns out that when you look at something in the sky, it makes you understand the truth that living isn't really worth it and you should just give up. Honestly, even if I didn't see anything, I still would have jumped with all that nonsense happening around me. Anyway, the sister crashes the car and is in the front of a truck, so all the civilians are running around for shelter. Then the woman falls, and then the woman tries to save her, while her old man husband tells her to leave her out there. But while the woman goes out, she realizes the truth too, and gets in a burning car, which is kind of extra. I mean, she could have just laid down and waited for a car or something, but whatever. Anyway, some Negro helps the woman into the house, and it's full of a bunch of survivors. Basically, all of them except for the woman, Negro, the fat Negro, and the owner are trash. The fat Negro tells everyone what's happening, and it's because the ops in the spirit world are manifesting themselves as everyone's worst nightmare, so they can smoke themselves. The old man feels some way about the woman because he's the reason why his wife is not on a shirt, so I can kind of see where he's coming from. So there's some fat woman knocking on the door, and the old man doesn't want anybody in, but the main woman ups a pull on him and makes them let her in. So she's also pregnant, and that's pretty lame. Then the owner of the house offers to look on the video camera to see if it's safe to go outside. He ends up seeing the ops on the screen and making himself a thing of the past. Fast forward to the present, and some comedian has trolls on their ass because he needs them to look at the ops. So the woman has to make an example out of him. Then back to the past, the niggas at the house ran out of food, so they have to make a stop at the market. Then they're getting geeked because they finally have food, and the woman takes some birds with her. But then the snake-ass old man suggests they leave the others to starve, and the woman tells him that that shit's dead. Then they hear some pounding on the door, and it's the fat Negro's co-worker who claims he was locked in. So right as they try to free him, it turns out he's a troll. So the fat Negro sacrifices himself to make sure the other guys don't look at the ops. So the niggas go back to the house with food and birds, because it turns out that birds can detect the ops. So while everyone is just, chilling, some bitch-ass cop and weirdo piss off with the car, leaving all the other niggas stranded because they're both worthless. Then it goes back to the future, and the woman goes on an expedition, but she's MIA for too long, so a female goes to check on her. But then woman gets on her ass for leaving the boat. In the past, the Negro and woman start getting close, but then another outsider is let in by the fat woman, and he talks about how there are these trolls from the mental institution that are making niggas look at the ops. Then the old man tells him to piss off and points a stick at him, but some old woman survivor beats him over the head, and the rest of them do him dirty and put him in the garage. Eventually the fat woman and the main woman go into labor, while the guy they just let in starts doing weirdo nonsense and pulls out a bunch of drawings. So it turns out he's one of the trolls, and he starts opening the windows in the garage door just to piss off the old man. Then the Negro gets knocked out by him, and he goes upstairs to spread more nonsense. So as soon as he sees the new mothers, he decides that the fetuses don't deserve to live in this cruel world, and he starts opening the windows so that everyone can look at the ops. The fat woman does, so the main woman takes her baby, and the fat woman puts herself in the news. Then the troll literally forces the old man to look, and she puts herself in a shirt too. So the old man pulls up with the pole and tries to up it on the troll, but he can't see, so he only manages to blast his shoulder. So the troll gets on his ass and makes him fall to the first story. Then he pokes him with some scissors, and right before it looks like a wrap for everyone, the Negro regains consciousness and engages in jihad with the troll for the stick. Eventually the Negro comes upstairs and lets the woman know that the coast is clear. So fast forward 5 years, and the woman and Negro are together, raising the fat woman's girl and her own boy. So the Negro gets a call from the radio that there are normal niggas just hiding out from the ops and trolls, and he's the fun parent, so he starts to give the kids hope, while the woman just shuts it down. So then they both get in their feelings. Eventually during one of their food raids, they get harassed by a group of trolls, and the Negro sacrifices himself to make sure the others get a chance to escape. So the woman and the kids do the dash, while the Negro murks all the trolls, but in the process ends up seeing the light, so he puts a shell in himself. So now we're at the part where the movie started, so they get to the current, and the boat flips over, and for some reason they're not all on tombstones. The woman manages to save the boy from drowning, while the girl's already on land. Then the woman has them all hold hands as they walk through the forest, but then she gets caught slipping and falls over a branch, leaving the kids defenseless. So it turns out that the ops are not only visions, but can also put out sounds. So they start imitating some niggas from the past in order to get the three to take off their blindfolds, because they really want them to realize the truth about life and just end it already. So the ops pretends to be the woman to the kids, and tells them to take off their blindfolds, but the real woman tells them to chill out, and she she's able to find male, but is looking for female. Then male tells the woman that female is afraid of her, so she tells her that everything's gonna be lit when they get to the survivors, and they're all reunited. So they finally make it to survivors camp, where they meet the OG there, and it turns out it was actually a school for the blind, so the ops powers couldn't work on them. Then the woman meets up with the doctor that cheated in the beginning of the movie, and the kids are finally given real names. Female is named after her mother, and male is named after the Negro, so they let the birds free, and the kids finally get a chance to interact with other humans, and the movie ends on a chill note. Honestly, it was cool, but also pretty funny, particularly all the scenes with the trolls applying pressure and forcing niggas to look. That was pure comedy. I'm okay with the fact that we never actually see the ops, but I wish there was some kind of explanation. Let me know what other stuff you want me to go over, and also hopefully the fuck niggas that turned their backs on the guys ended up as packs. Okay guys, make sure that when you subscribe you hit the notification button, because that lets you know whenever I make a new video, and as always, thanks for watching.